All right, I'm here to tell you about the 5 hidden costs that are crushing home buyers right now. You think your down payment and closing costs are a bit expensive. They might be big, but there's 5 hidden ones that could potentially cost you $15,000, and nobody is talking about it. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining again. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Rick Bosley. I'm your owner, operator, and founder of the Bosley team and general manager of the Keller, Brevard, and Atlantic Partners. And I'm here to tell you about the 5 hidden costs that sometimes are just being omitted from the consultation to our buyers. So if you're a buyer in this market, if you're an agent working with buyers, make sure you're talking about these 5 hidden costs. I'm going to start off by going, all of these 5 can be found out and discovered during your due diligence period. In many of the contracts that we're getting right now, it is offered or presented to have some sort of due diligence. If you're not careful or if you're just going through it, some might think of this as the inspection period. And yes, the inspection is one of those 5, but there are 4 more. So instead of calling it the inspection period, consider calling it the due diligence period, because this is when we're doing our due diligence. And the first thing we're going to talk about, yes, it is the inspection. Now, Florida inspections are somewhere between $350, $600. For the full house inspection. Of course, the more square feet, the more complexity it is, you're going to have more. If you add on a pool, if you add on a dock, if you add on a 4-point and a wind mitigation and a termite inspection and a septic inspection and a radon inspection and a mold inspection, easily these can ring up utmost of thousands of a couple $1,000s. So what you want to do is kind of go, what is the balance? What do we need? As you're looking at a home, it's important to have a buyer and a buyer's agent who can identify some big problematic things from the naked eye. A lot of what the inspector does is naked eye inspection. It's stuff that we can see without ever having an inspection license, like what kind of panel is on the electrical? Is it going to be insured? What kind of plumbing do we have under the pipes? We can take a look at the roofs. We can take a look at permits during roofs. So even maybe before you make the offer, we can do that eye test inspection. And then once you're under contract during the due diligence period, we're going to do more. Now, what you always want to do at minimum, in my opinion, is going to be the full house inspection to uncover everything. When you do that, you're going to want the FLIR, F-L-I-R. It's that heat sensing where you can look at moisture, look at water, look at heat. We can see if electrical's overpowered. We can see if there's leaks in the floorboard or in the roof. So you want to get the FLIR on there. It's your X-ray vision. You're going to want to add the 4-point and the wind mitigation because the insurance companies like both of those things. Now, an advantage for you if you're going, wow, this is adding up already, and we're just in the first one, we do have a company that we partner with for the inspection company, and they say, look, if you pay us for a full inspection, we're going to already be able to see if the 4-point is. We're going to already be on the roof and up in the attic, and we can do the quick checkbox for the wind mitigation. So they're packaging that together to help save some costs. That's where you want to save costs, not by skipping or not by inviting your Uncle Larry to join you because he built houses back in 1985 and he's going to be your, no, we're not doing that, because that's when you're going to find some stuff. Not only is it going to prevent potentially disasters down the road, it's all going to give you leverage and negotiation power. When you have a professional inspection company who gives you a formal report and you can take the report back to your seller, you've got validation from your company. If your Uncle Larry does it, a little bit biased there. So get it. It's going to save you a lot of money there. You're going to make sure you get what the insurance companies want. And when you give your inspection report back, do not give that inspection report to your insurance company, because now everything you see from, there's a loose toilet and that could cause some disastrous plumbing and water damage down the road. That insurance company, that you've even said that, they're going to go, don't touch it. So the only thing the insurance company gets is the 4-point and is the wind mitigation. You're going to save somewhere between 10 up to 45% discounts with that. So don't skip it and find partnerships to find people who you trust. Also, home inspectors can kill deals. They need to understand how to package it and deliver it and talk about it, because not everything needs to be a disaster. Some things are actually pretty quick. Okay, number 2 thing that you're going to do during your due diligence period is shop for insurance. There's an insurance shock that's happening all across the world. Florida, did you know Florida is the highest average insurance per year? $26.25 is the average insurance that people in Florida are paying, which is 24% above the national average. 24% above the national average. So why is this happening? What's driving this increase? Well, we've had a lot of climate change disasters, right? We've had some floods. We've had, if you're West Coast, it's fire out in California, but Florida, we're getting flooded. The West Coast of Florida is getting flooded. We're getting a lot of that coming in. So $20 billion in disasters over the past couple of years versus 8 is historical, a 54% increase with the claims that we saw due to disasters. Strategy is we want to get quotes often. We want to be able to shop it. We prefer using a broker. A broker can look at plenty of people. We want to make sure if we need to look at it, what's our deductible versus what's our premium? What kind of insurance does insurance cover? Our rental property got flooded last year. We have great flood insurance. With it, we did have a deductible. And we learned that flood insurance covers the house and not the contents of it. So do you want content? If you're in a high flood zone or flood zone 8, take that into consideration during your due diligence period. And you're going to be able to say, what is my insurance going to be and how is that going to increase my PITI, principal, interest, taxes, insurance? Okay, so number 1 was inspection. Number 2, let's shop for insurance. Number 3, let's take a look at your HOA. And during that due diligence period, let's look at HOA. Fees for HOAs have gone up 5 to 7% in Orlando over the last 12 months. There's assessments. They're tripled fee. You've got big repairs and open, whether it's a special assessment, whether it's an HOA, whether it's going to be what the balance sheet is, especially if you've taken over new construction, new development. Oftentimes those HOAs are under reserved. So by the time you take over as a community, you've got to increase that. When we bought back in 2016, our HOA went up 150% within 2 years when we took it over from the developer. And then we became it. We're going, whoa, we have no reserves being built. And this is a gated community and we need lights and we need docks and everything else out there. So just keep in mind, take a look, take a full scope of what that HOA is, what it includes. Is there a community pool? Is there community? Is it gated? All those things will increase your HOA. Let's take a look at the reserves so you can build that into your assessments. Regulations, we touched on it a little bit with insurance. It's going to be, is there some sort of flood elevation or are we expecting anything? So permits and inspections or anything else with regulations within your community, probably more the coastal, less inland, but they will ask for what's insurance. And then is the closing cost. Closing cost for borrowing money, traditionally is a little bit less than it is now. So why is the processing fee higher? Due diligence. Well, overall, life's more expensive. So there's higher closing cost, higher fees. Maybe $12,000 to close is now $16,000 to close, and that's just the cost of eggs and the cost of gas and the cost of doing business. So here is your call to action. Here's what we want to do to encourage you to be able to budget properly. Well, when you're looking for a house, oftentimes your approval will include guesstimations of taxes and insurance. So when you get your pre-approval, they're going to guesstimate what it is. But depending where you're at, what kind of house you have, if it's 4-point flood zone, not, those could change things. We want to look at that of going, what is my average? Where am I at? You're going to get your inspection. You're going to find a reputable company, hopefully some referrals from your buyer's agents, and they've used before and worked with before. Insurance quotes, let's shop that around. Let's get several quotes. Let's look about what's my deductible? What's my copay? Does it cover my contents or just the house? Let's look at HOA. What does that include? And then let's get a detailed closing cost. As we're going through this, detailed closing cost and how to shop and what to do for this, we are partnering at a high level with an AI partner who's building back-end hubs. And AI is our friend. If you're not using AI right now, what rock have you been underneath? Now the question is, how are you using it? Is it a glorified search engine for you, or is it a researcher, or is it an advisor, or is it a coach? And we're creating assistants, and we're creating AI partners that when we can put in a home inspection, it can actually take a look at it, it can read it, it can take a look at pictures for it, and it can give us some summaries, it can give us some negotiation tactics, it can look at everything we have. If you ever gotten an HOA document and it's 25 pages long, and you're going, yep, too long, not going to read that, and so you just scroll down and sign it, well, now you can put that into AI and you can have it summarize and say, what are my red flags, what are my overall expenses, what can I expect, how do reserves look? And so we're partnering with AI to be able to do it more efficiently and more diligent with you. All of these things to do in your due diligence period. I've had a lot of people say, you know what, I'm a home inspector, I've built homes, and they go, give me 2 days, I'm great. We need more than 2 days to really cover all the bases. Now, it doesn't mean in a pinch do you do that to be able to take on some risk to be able to good value. Sure, that happens depending on negotiation. Yet we need to be aware of it, because if no one's talking about the extra cost of moving, of these things are going to be above and beyond your closing costs, and you're not getting the full story. We want to make sure you guys get the full story so you're most prepared to win in this market. Because right now, if you saw the last episode and last week, we broke down the market, we broke down the stats, and we said we are at 5.5% inventory, which is nice and balanced, and we're leaning towards that buyer's market. So if you're a buyer, regardless of interest rates, opportunities coming in the next couple of months that you can go out there, find great deals. And when you do, we want to protect your cash. We want to make sure we do it. So when we find the right one, we are implementing the right quotes, the right inspector, the right insurance, understanding HOA to give you a house you can be in for a long-term investment for your family or for your portfolio or for yourself, wherever you're buying in it, we've got you covered. Thanks so much for listening. I trust this was valuable for you. And if it was, do me a favor and go ahead and like or subscribe or comment back. Let me know what you found, what you helped, or if you have any specific questions that you have around your home buying process, or maybe you're thinking about it or how you can save, please reach out. We'd love to be that trusted advisor for you. And until next time, we'll see you next week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.